Maybe a few more people will be arriving just as we start, but I say we go for it. We have many of us all gathered together. Um, so I am going to officially say once again, welcome to this virtual soiree. My name is Ian Lindsay, and I have the great privilege of getting to help host a little bit this evening. I am wearing, just in case, I know, screens are of different sizes, but I do have my Raising a Reader Massachusetts bow tie that I am very grateful to Christine and the Raising Readers team for sending to me. And I hope that you are comfortable wherever you find yourself logging in, and know that we're so excited to have you here to support Raising a Reader Massachusetts. So we have special guests this evening, a number of them, including Commissioner from the Department of Early Education and Care, Samantha Eigner-Trewergy, and we're very excited to get to introduce her in just a couple of moments. Katherine Jensen, the Executive Director of the Vertex Foundation and the Head of Corporate Responsibility, is here to receive an award so justly deserved by our friends at the Vertex Foundation. Thank you for coming. We're so excited that you're here. And Michelle Preen, and Susan, I see you chatting in the chat, and this part of the event, it will just be me, and all of the rest of the guests will not be seen, so you can relax. If you're a guest, you won't be on camera. At the end of this program piece, we are going to invite you all to be on camera and in some breakout rooms, but for right now, have a drink, relax, and we'll be here on screen, and you can be comfortable at home. You got it. And then I want to mention that Michelle Preen, the author of The Lost Laugh, the incredibly wonderful children's story that was the inspiration for tonight's Laughter is Good Medicine, and here it is, The Lost Laugh. Michelle is here to talk with us as well. So a lot of special guests, and I hope that many of you are enjoying the special items that you have received from Raising Reader Massachusetts, including the bookmark that we sent, and perhaps the Saturn cocktail that was designed by Watson at Watson of Watson and the Shark. This is the signature drink. It's a Saturn. It's a gin-based cocktail. The bookmark and the cocktail are a really great pair because after the cocktail, the bookmark is more helpful. You'll find where you were in that book more quickly. So if put it in now, put your book to the side. We know you're a lot of readers here. And we really want to thank Watson of Watson and the Shark. And also, you can see that many people are already in the chat, but I do want to call out that the chat box is down at the bottom of your Zoom window. It says, correctly, it says chat. If you click on that, you can see that many of us are chatting with each other. And Katherine, we are so glad that you are here as well. Please come join us in the chat because that is the space where you will be able to cheer and applaud for some of our special guests as we are together this evening. It is also the place where you will be able to vie for the door prize. It is there are no doors. And we're kind of in this rectangular box. So I've been calling it the door box prize, but it's a door prize. We have a not one of a kind. It could be yours. You would have this one. It is a awesome solo stove outdoor heater that can keep you warm when you are outside, perhaps being socially distant from people. And we are going to give that away to one lucky person later this evening at the end of our laughing part. And I will say you must be present to win, and it will be given at random. You will get to select your favorite number between 1 and 1,000, and Larry Weaver will select a number between 1 and 1,000, and whoever's closest gets the door prize. So be thinking about that, but don't put it in the chat yet because that's coming. But if I could ask you right now, just to applaud for the opportunity to win a door prize later, then we'll know that you're all in the chat, and you could put either the word clap or something else in the chat. It would be fun because then we would see that you're all with us. Yes, exactly. Greg and Brandon and Joan and Heather and Daryl. Exactly. You're clapping. That's how you clap here tonight. Thank you to Brian and Donna. Yes, exactly. And along with that that solo stove later. Hi, Peter. Hi, Amanda. Deborah. Yes. Okay, Lexa. Okay, perfect. Keep clapping because we have special guests who are gonna be appreciative of that. With that door prize, you will also win a s'mores kit and some knit cup holders to keep your hands warm. So you're gonna be warm, toasty, and really happy with s'mores. I know for me, s'mores are great. I also want to quickly say that we are here to laugh and celebrate. Yeah. Oh, yes. And when you're chatting, somebody's just mentioning that, oh, great, you can put the emojis. That's wonderful. If you would please make sure you're chatting to all of us if that's what you're planning to do so that we can all see you chatting. I think many of you are doing that. And if you're in the chat, you'll see where it says to, and then you can select that and you can either chat to a specific person or you can chat to all of us. Chat to all of us. We want to see it. Our partners this evening are such a huge part of the success of Raising a Reader Massachusetts, and we want to thank our presenting and sustaining partners for being here and supporting us. To the Vertex Foundation, thank you so much. To PNC Bank, thank you, and to Amundi Pioneer. And if you could give them all a round of applause. Our wonderful sponsors. We could not do it without them. So thank you, sponsors, and we really we can't thank you enough. I will also just remind you that it is their support that allows us to provide books and tablets and resources to children and families in high need communities. And this crazy pandemic, which is why we're all together. Yes, Ellen, thank you. So much clapping. And Leanna, thank you. And Mercedes, yes, thank you to the sponsors. Thank you. Keep clapping and supporting them because those sponsors, we couldn't do without you. This time of the coronavirus pandemic has exacerbated the literacy opportunity gap in many ways. And of course, Raising a Reader Massachusetts has stepped up in many ways to fill and try to bridge that gap. But it is the support of our partners that make it possible for us to provide solutions and meet the challenge of that literacy gap that we're all about. So we're so excited to have you all here and to tell you a little bit more about what Raising a Reader Massachusetts does and how that works. Would you please give a very big warm welcome to our executive director, the one and only Christine Ward. Christine is gonna be over on my left or my right, one of those, I think. Yes, you're clapping. That's good. Lots of clapping. Is Christine? Oh, there she is. She's come.
Good evening and welcome to Raising a Reader Massachusetts Winter Soiree. Tonight's theme is Laughter is Good Medicine, and it is particularly poignant given all that the world has dealt with over the last year, and I'm sure we could all use a bit more laughter and joy in our lives today. And luckily for us all, we have a professional here tonight, as I am not the comedic talent. I'd like to take a moment to say how grateful I am for those who've been on the front lines during this crisis. For those in the medical field, from doctors and nurses to researchers and scientists, some of whom are here this evening, I would like to take a moment to applaud your work and to thank you all for your sacrifices. As President Harry S. Truman once said, not all readers are leaders, but all leaders are readers. Literacy continues to be the cornerstone of a good educational foundation for children. Now more than ever, our work is needed. Reading and literacy touches every part of our society and fosters positive economic and innovative outcomes. When a child is exposed from an early age to books and other literacy supports by their parents or caregivers, the impact is substantial. Families continue to struggle with unemployment, housing insecurity, and other challenges exacerbated by the pandemic, and children are losing out on precious learning opportunities. Here are some sobering statistics that exemplify the environment we're operating in. 61% of low-income children have no books at home, according to the Boston Foundation. By the time they enter kindergarten, children of color are on average nearly 9 months behind in math and almost 7 months behind in reading as compared to their peers, according to the National Institute for Early Education Research. And school year 2021 enrollment declines were concentrated in the earliest grades, according to the Boston Indicator's report on school enrollment declining. These downward sliding facts are extremely concerning, in addition to the closing of 74% of preschool programs, some permanently due to the pandemic. This is why our work is more important than ever. Last year, we worked with over 7,500 children in 10 gateway cities in Greater Boston, shared over 30,000 books, and saw a 38% increase in the number of facts and tips delivered through our literacy text messaging program. These outcomes show how deep the Raising Reader Massachusetts impact is, and we continue to be forward-thinking in delivering our services to high-need communities. In 2020, we've had opportunities to explore new ways to support families, from preschool tablets, preloaded tablets, virtual teaching tools, and text messaging literacy support. These advancements have all been made possible with supporters like the Vertex Foundation, whom we honor this evening. The Vertex Foundation is our partner in our work and our mission. They're a leader who understands the intersection of the realities that occur when children in our communities are faced with barriers to their education. There is hope. We can continue to be active citizens to make a tangible difference now. We're proud and inspired by the Vertex Foundation. Their support, along with that of other donors, makes it possible for us to improve people's lives, provide healthy learning environments, and innovative solutions that meet the needs of children and families today. On behalf of our board and our team, I am proud to present the Raising a Reader Massachusetts Strategic Community Partner Award to Katherine Jensen, Head of Corporate Responsibility for Vertex and Executive Director of the Vertex Foundation and the Vertex Foundation team. And now let's welcome Katherine.
Thank you, Christine. Yes, and Katherine, if you don't mind, I'm gonna jump in the middle because I want to remind people that people are applauding for you as we are. Yes, likewise. And your support, the Vertex Foundation support, is so hugely critical. And I will just say that while we are all here to laugh this evening, we are also here to raise funds for Raising a Reader Massachusetts. And if you are able to join the Vertex Foundation and become a partner with us, you can always, any day that you want, every day if you want, make a donation at raisingareaderma.org/donate. And we're going to put that into the chat. So it's really easy. Just click it and you can go straight there. So thank you for considering supporting us. And Vertex Foundation and Katherine Jensen, thank you. Okay, Katherine, forgive me. I know you are going to receive an award now, and I'm interrupting. So let me pass it back to Katherine Jensen, and we're so grateful for you being here. Thank you.
I'm honored to be here this evening, and on behalf of the Vertex Foundation, thank you for recognizing our mission and work with this Strategic Partnership Award. Just like you, the Vertex Foundation had an unprecedented year in 2020. And as we look back at all that our community partners accomplished, it is truly extraordinary. The Vertex Foundation is a charitable organization that seeks to improve the lives of people living with serious diseases and in its communities. It is a long-term source of charitable giving by Vertex Pharmaceuticals, a Boston-based biotechnology company that creates medicines for people with serious diseases. The Vertex Foundation has 4 focus areas. 1, STEAM education, to support the next generation of innovators, with a particular focus on under-resourced communities and underserved populations. 2, social innovation, to enable solutions to community challenges. 3, healthy families, to support the quality of life for families with children living with serious diseases. And 4, supporting communities through matching gift and volunteering programs for Vertex employees to expand our collective impact in local communities. I am proud of our collaborative partnership with Raising a Reader Massachusetts, which has helped children achieve their greatest potential and close the literacy opportunity gap in Massachusetts. We all know the COVID-19 pandemic has wreaked havoc on families, and many parents were forced to parent and homeschool while holding down jobs and other responsibilities. Engaging with families and providing them with tools and resources to make this job easier is at the core of Raising a Reader Massachusetts model. It was an easy yes when they asked us to support the Pauline A. Shaw School in Dorchester with a monthly learning kit distribution event to share reading strategies and gift families with tablets preloaded with an early literacy and family engagement program. During the challenges of COVID-19, together we were able to meet children and families where they are and provide innovative tools and encourage virtual learning. I'm pleased the Vertex Foundation helped Raising a Reader Massachusetts to distribute preloaded tablets with books for children and adults and literacy building activities. We are also proud to support online access to 60 families in Boston to help them focus together on the process of learning. And the need is still strong. Though a vaccine is in sight, there's a long road ahead of us to keep students and families on track with their learning. The vision of Raising a Reader over this next year is to replenish its rotating library of books, which are culturally relevant and age appropriate. I encourage you to learn more about the ongoing work of Raising a Reader Massachusetts and join us in supporting them. Together, we can support families in need in our communities and build a foundation for social emotional development, school readiness, and future learning. We will also strengthen the building blocks for a lifetime of physical and emotional health. Thank you again for this wonderful recognition, and I wish you all a great evening.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Vertex Foundation. And if we can hear a round of applause, well, if we can give a round of applause, we won't hear it. That would be great. Yes, in the chat, and I can see Liana, thank you. Melissa, yes. Heather, yes. Clap, clap, clap. And all of you, Eileen and Vertex Foundation, we're so grateful. Yes, I can't even keep up. There's so much clapping. To Kate and William and Raquel, yes. And now I get to bring back our executive director, Christine Ward, to introduce our next very special guest. Hi, Christine. How are you? Oh, no, Christine,
Hello,
that was...
Ian.
Oh, hi. How are you?
I'm sorry. Thank you. Yes, I'm looking forward to introducing our next guest, and I will do so right now. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, Christine, will you turn your camera back on as you do this?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
No, that's okay.
So Catherine, thank you so much. It was wonderful to hear from you. And obviously this award is like from our heart and so truly well deserved. So I would now like the honor to, just again, thank you for your wonderful support. You've been such a wonderful partner to Raising a Reader, the entire Vertex team for your contributions to early learning and early education. So we are in this journey with you together and so grateful to have you here tonight to accept the award. Now our next guest is Samantha Igor-Trewargy. So I'm thrilled that she is going to be here live tonight. So thank you, Commissioner Sam. So we're proud to be partners with her. She's affectionately known as Commissioner Sam. And she is from the Massachusetts Department of Early Education and Care. And she was sworn in Massachusetts in August of 2019, which was also, and shortly thereafter, she had the pleasure of meeting Marianne Lerner, our Director of Development, who met Samantha on her first day in the office. So it's certainly a great learning opportunity for Marianne. So Commissioner Igor-Trewargy began her career in the classroom to serve as a preschool teacher in Western Mass and the Chicagoland area. And after some time as a teacher coach and social emotional consultant to childcare agencies, she began focusing on the development of early education policies on state and federal levels that benefited children and families. The commissioner has reconfigured early childhood financing structures, oversaw city designs for providing universal full-day pre-kindergarten to all 4-year-olds, and launched the pilot of a universal nurse home visiting program with the city's Department of Public Health. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to Commissioner Samantha Igor-Trewargy.
Thank you so much. I'm so thrilled to be here with you tonight and celebrating all of the work that Raising a Reader is doing in communities across the Commonwealth. I grew up in Massachusetts, as Christine mentioned, and had been in Chicago the last couple of decades doing work, and have come back to find just a wealth of resources available to families. And Raising a Reader is doing, the services provided by Raising a Reader are really, really critical to ensuring that we're building a lifelong passion for reading with children, and also those vital resources for families, especially right now. The COVID crisis really did impact early education and care landscape in profound ways, and the impact I know will continue to be felt for months and years to come. And we know that families' lives particularly changed overnight a year ago, and they're now spending much more time with their children potentially than they anticipated doing so on a daily basis. And the services like those provided by Raising a Reader are there helping them do that, helping them ensure that they can be their child's first and most important teacher. And while we work to meet the new needs of the Commonwealth and those that families will have as we progress through recovery, we also know that partnerships with programs like Raising a Reader, it will really be the critical link to making sure that the pathway that we're building not only puts children on the path to success from the start, but make sure that the families and schools and our communities together are working for that success. And I'm really looking forward to celebrating with you tonight. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Commissioner. And if you don't mind, you mentioned partnerships, and I know, part of that partnership is with Raising a Reader, but you got to see, the Vertex Foundation is such an incredible partner with Raising a Reader as well. And I just wonder if you could speak briefly about why that is important, that you and the commission, the department partners with us and with the Vertex Foundation and public and private, that it all kind of comes together. I know that's a big question, but
Absolutely.
Maybe a short answer. Do you?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to eat up all of your time tonight, but I will say that there are two things that come to mind as you ask that question. First, as Christine pointed out, I am, my mother would claim I am a lifelong early educator, that I've always just loved hanging out with little children. And I think that really it's because you see the potential, but we know that you can't cram early literacy skills into second grade. That it really is about making sure that children are hearing and engaging with literacy-rich environments, which is the home, as well as the school. And so really making sure that we have those resources going to support the number of words that children hear, the familiarity they have, and the access to those resources is how we build that lifelong skill set that will carry them through all of their academic career. But I will say one other thing about that I think is really vital, and hearing the work that the Vertex has supported really highlighted that we know from the State Department level that we can't reach every single family, and it is our job to make sure that communities are supported to being able to do that. And the resources that you all are providing, and you all are partnering with communities to make sure that they can have the local access for those resources for their families, and that they're bridging schools and home and all of the context so it becomes a cohesive, seamless, supportive, emotionally literacy-rich environment in everywhere that children go. Is how we really transform lives. And so appreciate not only the content, but also the way that you do your work and the way that you are supported in bringing together really a sustainable change for children and families.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Commissioner Sam. It's just such a pleasure to have you here. We're so glad to be, a partner with you in all of this and doing whatever we can to support ending this literacy opportunity gap, and making sure that every child has an opportunity to be whoever they want to be as they learn about others and the world around them. So thank you so much. It's been we're thrilled to have you as a part of our sort of early education base, and truly appreciate your time here this evening. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for the work you're doing.
Thank you, Commissioner, and get ready to laugh because our comedian is like moments away, and Christine, likewise. But we do get to introduce one more person, just one more quick special guest, because tonight we called this event Laughter is Good Medicine. And as we mentioned earlier, we selected that theme because of this wonderful book called The Lost Laugh by author Michelle Preen. And Michelle was so kind to send us some words all the way from South Africa. And so if I could please introduce the one and only Michelle Preen, author of The Lost Laugh. Here's Michelle.
Hello from Cape Town, South Africa. I was so happy when I heard that our little book, The Lost Laugh, was the inspiration behind the theme for your event. I say our because even though I wrote the book, it was very much a team effort, and this storybook belongs to the world. I'm really passionate about writing fiction and storybooks in particular, but I do have a full-time job. And I'm fortunate in that job to work with cities throughout Africa in helping them to become more environmentally sustainable. As part of one of our projects, a study was done in the city of Lilongwe in Malawi on urban hyenas. And although these animals are a really important part of the ecosystem and need to be conserved, they are often feared and hated. My hope with writing this story was to show that hyenas aren't all bad and that often they are misjudged. And I thought, what better way to do that than through laughter and humor? Laughter is good for the body, the mind, and the soul, and it has a way of bringing people together. My hope with this book is that through this challenging time, it brings joy to both children and adults. Stay safe and keep laughing.
Thank you so much, Michelle. And we also are so grateful because the publisher of The Lost Laugh, Dorette Lowe, and the director at Book Dash also is here to share some words with us about this book. So if I could introduce publisher and director at Book Dash, Dorette Lowe, here she is.
Hi everyone, my name is Dorette Lowe and I am a director at Book Dash. Our book, The Lost Laugh, was the inspiration for your soiree tonight, and I'm very grateful to Raising a Reader Massachusetts for identifying the book and using it. It's lovely to know that our book that was made at the southernmost tip of Africa is finding its way all the way to Massachusetts. So, Book Dash, just a few words about what we do. We are a non-profit social impact publishing organization. We believe that every child should own 100 books by the age of 5 because we know that that is a transformative thing in a child's life. We want our books to be engaging and fun and beautiful and high quality and very relatable to children from different cultures. And above all, they need to be really affordable, otherwise we can't achieve our vision of children owning 100 books. And how we do this is we draw on the power of volunteers. So our writers, illustrators, and designers all are professional creative volunteers who then give their time freely at a Book Dash event, which is a Saturday where we make brand new books in 12 hours. The writer of The Lost Laugh has also sent a little clip to tell you about the background to that story. So at this stage in the world's history, we really do all need a little bit more laughter. So we understand that this event is an opportunity to combine the joy of reading, which one can find in a book like The Lost Laugh, with the vision of Massachusetts Raising a Reader, which is to close the literacy opportunity gap. This resonates completely with us at Book Dash, and we hope that our two organizations will work together a lot in future to create more literate, stronger families where children have a good chance on academic success and where there are strong socio-emotional bonds. So, congratulations to the Vertex Foundation. Thank you to everyone attending tonight's event. We hope you have a wonderful time and that you enjoy The Lost Laugh.
Thank you, Michelle and Dorette. We're so grateful. And it is time. It is time to laugh, and it is time for me to introduce the reason that many of us are here, which is our celebrity comedian guest. As I introduce him, I want to invite you to attempt to accurately transcribe your own laugh into the chat box. So laugh right now, if you can. Listen to that, and then just transcribe exactly what it sounds like. You know, some people have H's and E's, other people have, A's and exactly. Jackson, that's yours. Okay, perfect. Keep doing that. And now I am going to introduce a very special guest. He has shared the stage with entertainment legends like Chris Rock, Faith Hill, and Weird Al Yankovic. You might have heard him on Blue Collar Radio or Laugh USA or Sirius XM Satellite Radio. Would you please give all of this laughter that I see that you are giving and a huge round of applause to the one and only Larry Weaver. Larry, welcome. We are so glad that you are with us.
Thank you. Thank you. So great to be here. I think I heard a faint sound of laughter there. Oh,
Welcome, Larry.
Welcome, Larry.
all right. That's more like it. All right, I like that. It's my honor to be here. It's my privilege to be here. I am so thankful to finally speak into the that is so unapologetically pro-hyena. Very important to me. So often hyenas are overlooked. So shout out to Spotty for all his good work. Enjoyed the lost laugh. Sorry about that. Enjoyed the story of Spotty. It's a very good book. Go check it out. Read it to your kids. So I'm joining you today all the way from Durham, North Carolina.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes. So even though I'm physically from miles away from many of you, we're separated by miles. We have a lot in common. And that's what I want to talk about today, our commonalities. For instance, we all have crazy family members, don't we?
Yes. Amen.
Some of you may be watching with some of your crazy family members. And if you are, don't point them out. Don't point them out. They don't need to know. But when you come from a family that has crazy family members, it's hard to explain the concept of stranger danger to kids.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, all right, kids, don't talk to strangers. They're like, well, what's a stranger look like? How will we know if somebody's a stranger? Like, oh, well, if they got long hair, long beard, drinking, smoking, cursing, Uncle Ricky. Hard to explain. It's hard to explain. You're like, no. You know, if they're trying to give you candy and hug you for too long, Grandma? It's difficult. It's difficult. Very difficult. Oh, I miss my grandmother. If your grandmother is still alive, tell her how much you love her. Send her a letter. Give her a call. I miss my grandma. I feel like if my grandmother was alive, though, she would have a cure for the coronavirus. I'm sure of it. Not just a vaccine, but a cure. And it would be somewhere inside her pocketbook. You wouldn't be able to find it right away. She'd have to root through that thing like a honey badger, but she'd find it. It's in there somewhere. My grandma had everything you needed for any situation in her pocketbook. Band-Aids, hearing aids, Rolaids, New Testament Bible, loaded pistol, whatever you needed. Grandma had in there. Now, my grandma always had an immaculate perm. She would spend all day long in the beauty salon at the gas station. That's true. Oh, hold on. I got to let my cat out. Dinner time. Sorry about that. She would spend all day long at the beauty salon at the gas station, the double wide beauty salon / gas station. That's how you know you're from the country. And she never had a hair out of place. It was always immaculate. And she used to carry this little, this was back before they invented the little umbrella. She'd carry this plastic wrap to put on her head when it rains to protect her perm. Unless you were with her as a child, then she put the plastic wrap on your head. Kids, if you're watching, I hope this never happens to you. She picked me up in 3rd grade one time, put that plastic wrap on my head, and I'm skinny. I look like a lollipop. It wasn't even a store-bought plastic wrap. It was an old bread bag. All 3rd grades kids called me old Wonder Bread head. Very hard to live that down. Very hard. So it's been an interesting year, to say the least. Past year has been interesting. No idea we'd be in the pandemic this long. I knew, last year when it started, when they declared the pandemic and we kind of got into it, we thought, oh, it's going to be a few weeks or a couple months, whatever. And then, I knew it got serious. When I knew that it was really serious is when they canceled the state fair. That's how you know things are bad, when they cancel the fair, because they don't cancel the fair for anything. On a good year, the fair is actively trying to kill you. That's how things are. So for them to cancel it is really shocking. That's bad times right there. And I like the fair. I've always had a love affair with the fair. I like the rides. I like thrill rides. You know, if you go to Six Flags or Great America up there, you know, it takes a team of engineers years to build a ride. It takes, you know, there's diagrams, schematics, safety precautions. None of that at the fair. You go down to Midway, you got the non-OSHA approved safety crew putting up a tilt-a-whirl in the back of a flatbed pickup truck. Armed with just a broken pair of vice grips, a can of WD-40. That's all I got. If you're standing in line for a ride, look down the trash can, see some loose bolts and an empty roll of duct tape. That's going to be a good ride on the Gravitron. And the food at the fair, if they can fry it and put it on a stick, they will serve it up, won't they? What's the craziest fried food you've seen at the fair? Just yell it out. Or put it in
Fried
the chat.
Oreos.
Oh,
Yeah,
Corn
deep fried
dogs.
Oreos,
Fried
absolutely.
pickles.
Deep fried pickles, yeah.
Boy, there's some interesting things going on in the chat. Somebody's
Deep
bringing
fried
us
butter.
out on a fair with a pistol. I didn't see the ending of that story, but there's a whole nother show going on in the
cheese
chat room,
curds.
apparently.
Cheese curds.
Yes, cheese curds. I don't know if anyone mentioned this because I was distracted by the granny with the pistol in the chat room. But we got to, the breakout. We have breakout sessions later. We got to investigate this further. Somebody should tell that story. Yeah, but what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I don't know if anyone mentioned it, but they had a booth at the fair back before it closed selling deep fried butter. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Yes, it's a real thing. You take a whole stick of butter, batter it, deep fry it, put it on a stick like a little artery blocking hors d'oeuvre.
True.
Now, I'm no doctor, but if you're eating deep fried butter, you have really let yourself go. I don't care if you live or die. Like, here's $5. Let's see what happens. I'm not going to tell anyone how to live your life, but you might want to try a slightly healthier alternative. Maybe, I can't believe it's not deep fried butter, something. Just take some baby steps. It's the theme, of course, tonight is family, and it's been a traumatic year for a lot of families. Been a lot of changes, a lot of disruptions in our normal lives. Back before the pandemic, I was a nationally touring comedian and keynote speaker. I traveled all around the country. My wife, an international flight attendant, we rarely saw each other. 20 years, and now we're together all the time. I'm here now. All the time. It's tough for her, apparently. It turns out I have a lot of bad habits. I snore now. I know no one out there wants to admit to snoring, but we might have some victims of secondhand snoring. Just raise your hand. We'll keep in our thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
My wife has tried all kinds of ways to get me to stop snoring. She got me these things called breathe right strips. I don't know if you tried that. It's basically a piece of duct tape you put on your nose and hold your nostrils open. Now, I have a pretty big nose anyway. Once you duct tape my nostrils open, I look like a warthog. Now I'm not snoring, but my wife has to wake up next to Pumbaa from Lion King. Hey! Ian liked that joke. I appreciate that. Whoever that was laughing, I appreciate that. Oh, man. My wife, now we're working from home all the time. You know, I'm here all the time. I have all kinds of new responsibilities. Apparently, it's my job to kill all the bugs. That's what my wife wants me to kill all the bugs. There's just one problem with that. I am scared of bugs too. Have you ever had a bug and you didn't have any bug sprays? You just spray the bug down with anything you can get your hands on? I found out you can't kill a spider with Febreze. Gonna make him mad. I was getting ready for the show and this giant roach crept up on me. So I sprayed him down with some deodorant. Shh, nothing. Then I hit him up with some cologne. Nothing. Then I got the heavy artillery, the Aquanet. Sprayed the roach down. She just shook it off and kept going. I didn't kill the roach. I just got it ready for the prom. Roach was wearing more hairspray than a Waffle House waitress. I've been trying to eat healthier during the pandemic. I think it's going okay. I'm trying to eat a more plant-based diet because I'm easily influenced by Netflix documentaries. And True. There's so many plant-based diets now. I don't know if you're aware of what's going on in the plant-based diet world. It used to be either you were a vegetarian or you ate meat, and that was your two choices. There was nothing else. Now, there's just seemingly dozens of plant-based diets. For instance, if you eat mostly plants but some meat, you're a flexitarian. That's a thing. If you eat mostly plants but some fish, you're a pescatarian. If it's true, if you eat mostly plants and drink alcohol, you're Episcopalian. Not sure about that one. I think that's how it goes. So many rules. So many rules. I definitely think I'm eating healthy. I come from a big family, and whenever my family gets together, we'd always have the potluck dinner. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not a fan of the potluck. Let's be honest, there's a reason why that word luck is in there, isn't it? You don't know what you're eating or who made it. You don't know if that hair in the casserole is human or animal. You don't know. Could be off somebody's head, could be from a cat. You just don't know. It's true. They're like, oh, that's just corn silk. This corn got a perm. Oh man, and the food was so unhealthy. I'm in the South. My mom, she makes a sweet tea for the potluck. She put in 3 cups of sugar a gallon. That tea's so sweet it would gag a hummingbird. My Aunt Margaret, I don't even know how this is possible. She can make a chocolate pie that smell like cigarettes. Now, how much do you have to smoke to make a chocolate pie smell like cigarettes? You'd be like, is that Marlboro meringue? Just a hint of nicotine. My grandma, fine Southern cook, could turn anything into junk food, take a green bean right off the vine, saute it in some pork fat, cover with some velveted cheese, sprinkle some fried onions on top, call it a green bean casserole. Like, come and get your veggies. Veggies, grandma. You can deep fry that and serve it at the fair. Oh man, it's funny the things you missed during the pandemic. I used to love going out to restaurants. I'm not. I like restaurants, but I don't like a restaurant that has too many menu items. If they have too many choices, I can't make a decision. I don't know if you have this problem, but if you have this problem, when this pandemic's over, don't let anyone ever take you to a place called the Cheesecake Factory. Have you seen the factory? It's like 30 pages long. The waiter's like, what will you be having? I'm like, I'll have a highlighter and a study carrel. Cancel my appointment for the rest of the day. We're going to be here for a spell. Tell you what, it's a lot of choices, In the South, Southern people, if you ever travel down South, and we may have some people here. Do we have any Southerners here in the chat room? Just Oklahoma, there you go. Thank goodness your power is back on down there. That's great. Right here, you're supposed to say right here if you're really Virginia. Virginia's on the board. Mississippi, yes. Husband, yes, absolutely. Got some Southerners here. And if you're in the Boston area and you ever visit the South, you know that Southerners are very liberal with the term vegetable. Yeah, I was at this barbecue restaurant back before things shut down, and I was looking at the menu. I said, "What's your vegetable of the day?" Waitress was like, "Our veggie of the day is mac and cheese."
Yes.
Mac and cheese. I didn't realize that was in season. Oh man. We used to have this food truck that came through the neighborhood. It sold street tacos. Now, I don't know. I guess street tacos, if you're not familiar, they're like, I guess they're like regular tacos, but they fell in with the wrong crowd. I don't know. I don't know how these tacos ended up on the street. Maybe they had an absentee father, started running with the chalupas. I don't know what happened to these tacos. But I think we should open more Mexican restaurants to keep the tacos off the streets. That's my opinion. No taco left behind. But I love the food truck. I grew up in the country. We never had a food truck. Closest thing we had to a food truck was when the El Camino hit a possum.
Oh, oh.
Yes. Get yourself some white bread and you got a ditch witch right there. Yes. I was so glad to see people here from all over different parts of the country. This is fantastic. The great thing about the virtual Soiree, I can't even say it. The virtual thing that we're doing. You can have people coming from all over the country, all over the world, even South Africa. That's fantastic. It's amazing to join us like this. This is Technology Colorado is in the house. This is great. Technology is amazing, but it's getting a little out of hand, I think. We had to buy a new washing machine, and our washing machine has Wi-Fi. Now, I don't know why my washing machine needs Wi-Fi. If it had GPS tracking, well, that would make sense. Then it could locate my missing socks. But Wi-Fi, they're like, oh, it's so all your appliances and stuff in your house can talk to each other. I don't want my things in my house communicating with each other. What's my washing machine going to do? Send a text to the toilet seat? Hey, man, you up? Thank you. Thank you. It is good to see people. The country has been hard hit with the storms this year, the winter storms. Oh my goodness. So glad that I guess it's passed. How's it been going up there in the Boston area? You been doing all right up there?
Cold, snowing,
A lot of several nor'easters, right?
warmer today. Yeah.
Yeah, today was
All right.
sunny and warm.
What's warm today in Boston?
Over
At
32.
least 45.
Over 32.
At least
All
40,
right.
45.
Break out the shorts and flip-flops.
Exactly.
You know it.
Yeah, they know it. Yeah, Colorado, you probably know the same thing there. If it gets over 30, you start to break out the swimwear. But it's been tough. Now, we've been lucky here in North Carolina. Now, Southerners do not do well in the snow. We don't. And people always make fun. When a Northerner comes to the South, they always make fun. Oh, all you Southern people, you can't drive in the snow. That's not fair. It's not fair. It's not like Chicago or New York or Boston, where you have a team of earth plows ready to dispatch the first snowflake. We got one guy on a riding lawnmower with a 2x10 strapped to the front. He's got the whole county. It's going to take a while.
Oh no.
Then going down the highway on his Toro with a can of Morton salt. Chances are he's not going to get your cul-de-sac. I'll tell you that. We don't do snow. We don't do snow well. But I love snow. I love it. Growing up in the country, my mom would make something called snow cream. Now, depending on where you're from in the country, you may or may not have heard of snow cream, but basically it's ice cream made out of snow. That is some hillbilly Haagen-Dazs right there.
It's good.
Yes, yes. Good, not particularly healthy. No, not healthy. My mom would take this big old mixing bowl, put in a gallon of milk, a bag of sugar, and snow scraped off the molded deck railing.
Oh.
Like, what flavor is this? Penicillin? It'll make you sick and cure you. I got some of that. I got some of that immunity built in. I got a tough immune system, I think, from all that. I don't know. People make fun of the way we drive in the South as well. We have different driving rules down here. If you plan to travel to the South when the travel restrictions loosen up, just remember we drive differently in the South. For instance, in most parts of the country, if you come to a four-way intersection, the person on the right goes first. In the South, if you come to a four-way intersection, the person on the right waits for the person on the left to go. The person on the left insists the person on the right go, and they sit there waving at each other all day until someone from Boston comes and lays on their horn.
True.
That's how it's done. And in Boston, man, this is honest truth. I'm not even making a joke here. This is my honest opinion. And I've traveled all over the country. I've driven all over the country. To me, Boston has the worst traffic, the most aggressive drivers. I would say that.
Amen.
You get out of the airport and you get your rental car, you better know where you are going.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. And you got those, most people call them roundabouts. Y'all call them rotaries. Is that right? Rotaries?
Yes.
Oh man, wow. I don't like a rotary. Not at all. I have no idea what to do in there. Man, the closest thing in the South, the closest thing we have to Rotary is it reminds me of like a square dance, you know? It's like pull up in the roundabout. Once you're in, you can't get out. Look left, circle right. Wish you had a traffic light. Oh man, I'll get in that Rotary. I'll be there all night long. No, there's no getting out. Can't escape the Rotary. But I'm super excited to be here tonight. We, even though I grew up in a different part of the country, loved your area. And when I was growing up, my favorite book actually was Mike Mulligan and his Steam Shovel. My favorite book, which I just recently learned was based in West Newbury, Massachusetts. Now, I didn't know that growing up. Yes, West Newbury in the house. Well, one person. All right. Or maybe it was just Newbury, greater Newbury metropolitan area. I don't know. But I didn't know that. And Mike Mulligan and his Steam Shovel, Marianne, I mean, that book has touched, just like Spotty the Hyena and the Lost Laugh, touched people all over the world. And the great thing about books is, you know, when you read the book, you don't know that necessarily that Mike Mulligan's from Boston. He doesn't have a Boston accent in your head. You get to imagine, unless it's a picture book, you get to imagine how the characters look and how they sound. And that's a great thing. You really use your imagination. And I know that's a great, I think that's the theme of an upcoming event, imagination. That's the great thing about books. And maybe in Boston, when you see a Hollywood actor doing a Boston accent, does it drive you crazy? Are you like, that's not accurate? All right, moving on.
Depends on the actor.
Right.
True.
Right. If they're from Boston, then they probably can nail it. But I'm from North Carolina, where we lots of great books have been based in North Carolina. The Notebook. Let's see what else. Knights and Rodanthe. Where the Crawdads Sing. That's a good one. If you haven't read that one, you should check that out. Fantastic book. And then they adapt them to, you know, there's these great books, and then they adapt them to Hollywood. They have these crazy, outrageous Southern accents, and people think we're all a bunch of moonshine making, hillbilly, hand fishing, honey boo boo having backwoods hillbillies. That's not the case. That's just daddy's side of the family. Really, not everybody though. It's not fair. Not right. I'm from a little town called Saxpahal, North Carolina. You probably never heard of it. You might know a place like it where you live. It's just a little town out in the country. My mom would always warn us growing up. She's like, nothing good here happens after midnight. I'm like, nothing good here happens before midnight. Sure what time zone she was on. We went to this little small church out in the country. Call everybody brother so-and-so and sister so-and-so. When I was a kid, I thought we were all related. It turns out we were. It's a very small church. Now, I don't like to say we were poor, but we were always broke. We never had money. And when I was growing up, we had something called RIF, Reading is Fundamental. And it's a sort of a similar program to Raising a Reader. Yep. And I love, as a kid, growing up, and I was one of those households, we didn't have books. So to have RIF come in and get to, you know, we got like a pamphlet and we got to pick books, and it was the greatest thing. I can't tell you how much it meant to me as a child to be able to get these books, and they were my books. They were my books. They weren't my sister's books, or they weren't books I borrowed and had to return. They were my books, and they were so precious. In fact, I still have the books from my childhood. They're really very precious to me. And when you help a cause like this, you're really impacting and changing people's life. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. But I grew up there in the country, and I thought we didn't have money, and I thought my parents were so cheap. I did. They were just doing their best, but I thought they were cheap. My mom, she would use Christmas as an excuse to buy me things I needed anyway. I'm like, Mom, my shoe got a hole in the bottom. She's like, don't worry, baby. Christmas is right around the corner. Like, Mom, it's July. Don't make it. Difficult. We grew up in the country. My parents' philosophy was make do. Make do. If you didn't have something, you make do with what you did have. You had to use your imagination, improvise. Like we didn't have fireworks growing up. The closest thing we had to fireworks was a drunk uncle with a butane torch and a roll of toilet paper.
Oh, no.
Happy New Year! That's how we rolled. Yes. But I'm so thankful. It's been a challenging year. It's been a wonderful year. Really makes you feel good for the things that you do have and makes you appreciate those around you. Hopefully it makes you appreciate those around you. I appreciate my wife. You know, some women like a big burly man to protect them and keep them safe. And then there's my wife who's apparently content to take her chances. She knows it's her trouble to shove me to the attacker and run. Oh man, it's been a challenge. You know, our gyms have been closed. I haven't been able to go work out, and I'm just shrinking down. Now, last spring, back when the weather was nice, some people in my neighborhood got innovative, and they started a neighborhood boot camp class outdoors. Now, I signed up for this terrible idea. Don't ever take a boot camp class. They had me out there running around the field doing calisthenics. Had me trying to flip this truck tire. I'm like, I can't flip a truck tire. I'm gonna need something from a smaller truck. They're like, get this boy a Tonka. I can't flip a truck tire. I can't flip a mattress. We have a king size mattress. You ever try to flip a king size mattress by yourself? It's like setting a human sized rat trap. I got it. I don't got it. But alas, I'm thin. I try to make the most of it. Whatever your body type is, embrace it, make the most of it. This past Halloween, of course, they canceled Halloween here. I guess, I don't know why they canceled Halloween. Maybe it's now the inappropriate tweet. I don't know what happened, but they canceled it. And we had, to make up for it, we had a neighborhood parade and through the neighborhood. And I had a great costume. I wore some black spandex, one red glove, one white glove, and went as a jumper cable. Yeah. Get the party started. Get that party started. Oh man. So when I grew up, we didn't just rush off to the doctor when we got sick. You know, my parents were big into home remedies, you know, because we didn't have a lot. So we didn't have what you'd call medicine. We would look around the house for common household items to help cure your sickness. Like if I had a cough, my mom would give me a Coke. If I had a stomach ache, my mom would give me a Coke to help settle my stomach. If I had a cough, we had a jar of whiskey in the cabinet for medicinal purposes only to help cut that cough. Wow. If I had a stomach ache and a cough, well, that's a Jack and Coke right there. I was a very tipsy child. People were like, your son can't walk yet. They're like, no, he's just drunk. Just sleep it off. Yeah. He's Episcopalian. My mom, I would go out and get bit up by a mosquito, by anything itchy, like any bite that was itchy. My mom would put fingernail polish on it. Mm-hmm. Fingernail polish. Did your parents do that?
For the chiggers.
Yes. Those little mites, they get on there and paint you all up. That would have been fine if she had clear fingernail polish. She never seemed to have that. She just had hot pink. I'd come out from playing outside, all covered in bug bites. She'd paint me up with hot pink polka dots. I look like My Little Pony. And she'd send me back out in the yard. We had this garden and it was covered with these beetles. And it was my job to spread this stuff called 7 dust over the tomato plants. Mm-hmm. And 7 dust was highly toxic. My parents wouldn't get near it. I think that's why they had me in the first place. My purpose in earth was to spread the 7 dust on the tomatoes. Now, it's very highly toxic. I think I turned out okay. But there was no PPE, nothing like that. We didn't even have a store-bought spreader. I had to spread the 7 dust the country way, which involved me pouring the 7 dust into a pair of my mom's old pantyhose and shaking it around the garden. So here I am, 12 years old, about 60 pounds soaking wet, wearing jean cut-off shorts, pasty white, covered in bug bites with pink polka dots, skipping around the garden, waving a pair of pantyhose full of seven dust. It's a wonder I made it alive, but I appreciate it. Thanks to some books and some people who believed in me, I got to explore the world through books and through imagination. I had a dream that there was something bigger for me out there, and I followed my dream and did comedy. And so glad to join you here today. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Larry Weaver, and yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you, Ian.
Thank you, Larry.
And how about a hand for Ian as well? Looking very dapper tonight, Ian. Fantastic.
Larry, thank you. Thank you. I am looking for a stick of deep fried butter, wherever that is, because now you got me dreaming. So we wanted to ask you if you would help us in one more way before you go, because as you heard, we have this door prize, and in a moment we're going to give it away. And it's that really cool, because like you heard, hot in Boston is 42 degrees. So you even when it's hot, you might still want a personal heater. So the way we're going to do it is this: do you have a piece of paper and a pen by any chance?
I do. I have a piece of paper.
Okay.
And a pen.
Perfect. So if you would write down on that piece of paper any number that you want between 1 and 1,000.
Okay.
And to everyone else, hold on before you do it. Larry, if you do that, while Larry's doing that, I do just want, before we give this away, to just say very quickly, thank you for all of you for being here. And particularly again to the Vertex Foundation and Amundi Pioneer and PNC Bank. Your support really is just so critical to the success of Raising a Reader Massachusetts. And to the rest of all of you who are such strong supporters, we do want to invite you to make a contribution to Raising a Reader Massachusetts. And we want to tell you that we are initiating a open door partner. I don't want to say open door partner policy. It's not a policy, opportunity. That's the word I'm looking for. An open door partner opportunity where you can become a monthly partner with Raising a Reader Massachusetts. You could do it at $25 or $50 or $100 a month. You could do it at $1,000 a month. Really, there's any number. You can do any number you want. I mean, there's no numbers that you can't do. If you would consider that, we would be so grateful. There is in the chat, I think right now, the way to do that. And you want to be looking at the chat because Larry has written down a number. And now we want to ask all of you to put into the chat any number you want between 1 and 1,000. And the person who is closest to Larry's number will be the person. Okay. Oh, here are all the numbers. Ooh, people are picking, okay, big number. I see 400, 500 numbers, 800, 100, 173, 125, 589. Now I get to sound like a real auctioneer, like a Southern auctioneer. 932, I got 2, I got 589.
Hey, wait a minute.
Exactly. Okay.
I take offense.
Okay, so there's all of these. I know. Yeah, well, it's only fair to trade accents, right? You do Boston, and I'll try to do the South, but probably won't be so good. Okay, lots of numbers. Okay, so while we see all these, Larry, will you tell us the number that you selected to be the person who is closest to your number?
Yes, and I've been holding the number in my hand this entire time to make sure there's no favoritism or shenanigans. Has everyone got their number in? Are we ready to go?
We're ready. People have put in their numbers.
The number is 323. 323.
Okay.
So it looks like Kate is close.
Kate was at 312, 323, and we need any mathematicians, anybody who thinks they're closer than 11 numbers away. Is anybody closer to 323 than 11? Whoa, that's really good. 323. Wait. Oh wait, Deborah did 323. Wait,
no way.
Is that possible? No, hold on. We have to scroll back.
Oh, Deborah Gray. Yeah.
Deborah, she nailed the number.
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
That's crazy.
Wow.
323. Wait, 323. Deborah, amazing. Okay,
that is
Kate,
amazing.
we're so sorry. You were 11 away. That's a light years compared to right on the number.
What's the odds of that? Very small.
She should go play the lottery.
But Right? No.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Thank you. Larry, thank you so much. We're slightly over our time, but we're so excited that you're all here. Before I turn this over to Christine one more time, I just want to thank everyone else on the Raising a Reader team who made this incredible evening possible, to Marianne and Jason, everyone who is on the Raising a Reader backstage team. There's a whole group of us that have been doing this. I also... Larry mentioned that there's an upcoming event that has to do with imagination, and I mean, gosh, thank you for the segue. I so appreciate. We are going to be gathering on May 6th at 7 p.m. for our virtual gala, Imagination. To any of you who attended this past year's virtual gala, I mean, I'll say I was there, and it was pretty awesome. And we're going to make May 6th even more awesome. We can't wait to see you there to support Raising a Reader Massachusetts. And I think I am, okay, so yes, those are all the things I'm supposed to say. And now, Christine, I know you have some parting words, and Larry, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening. While we would have welcomed the opportunity to join together in person, we appreciate the overwhelming support we've received for our virtual events. We're grateful for your engagement this evening, and we hope you'll have an opportunity to join us for a virtual dinner with an author gala on May 6th. More details are coming soon, but it's going to be another evening of fun and celebration that you won't want to miss. Until then, be well and remember to laugh a bit more. It really is good medicine. Good night, everyone, and thank you.